All right. Let's wait why other people come in before we start. All right. Um. Okay. You are highly welcome, my beautiful souls. It is already 5:30 over here, if I'm not mistaken. Um. Good evening, wherever you are watching this video from. Good afternoon, good morning, depending your time zone, my beautiful lovely souls. Um, Let me first of all say I apologize. I came 30 minutes late. All right. There was a little bit delay along the road. Okay. So today, like what we have discussed, that today we are going to be looking into the topic that says the spiritual awakening. We discussed about this for the first class we had in TikTok, and today we are going to be having the second class. And the second class will be speaking about what are the benefits and what are the experience that you'll be experiencing when you are spiritual awakening, what encounter and what comes after. Okay, so this what we are going to be looking into today. So if you arrive, if you have come, get your pen and paper, because we are going to be learning a lot of things. So get your pen and paper if you have arrived. So please do also share this live and invite others so that they can join us in this very class. Okay, so um, without be wasting time, we should be going straight gradually. We should be refreshing the memory of the class we had in the TikTok live we had about the first class. All right, over there actually we discussed about spiritual awakening, because spiritual awakening, people hear about spiritual awakening but they don't really understand it. Okay, when you are in the church, or you are in any congregation or any religion belief you are in, and you are hearing your spiritual teacher, your pastor, your priest or priestess who is standing before you to preach about the spiritual uh, lesson, you might hear them say about spiritual awakening, the needful and the importance of being spiritual awakening. And many of you may encounter or hear or even have witnessed when someone is talking about this. But many of us also do not understand the deep meaning and reason why someone should be spiritual awakening, although not everybody are called to be awakening in their conscious higher self, because there are many who are being choosing to make sure that they are accompanying, they finish what they are called to be done in this lifetime. No, I am not in India. Sorry, I am here in Italy. So I want to remind you also that we discussed about this very well last time in our last discussion in TikTok account. Spiritual awakening drives from spirit. All right, the spiritual awakening we are talking about drives from the spirit. From the spirit becomes spiritual. From spiritual it becomes spiritual awakening. All right, you can't become that spiritual awakening at once, just in a thinking of I. That's not the way it works. All right, when you are not being spiritual, you are under just spirit. You are in moving by spirit, which the spirit, it is your inner being which live inside you, which the breeze, that's the life inside you, the spirit inside you, that is your spirit. Like as I'm speaking, it is my inner being that is speaking, which is the spirit of God in me. All right, that spirit of God in me, it is that spirit we are talking about. That spirit of God in you that is watching is that spirit we are talking about. Whether if it is awakening or if it has not been awakening, because many of us we have that spirit in us, but it's not yet awakening. You are not yet awakening. Some of you are still in awakening process, even when you have encountered the challenge in the process. You might not know. You may think that it's just a normal thing, but it is what you encounter. Then is to be awakening your inner being, to wake up your inner self, your spirit from the slumber, to see things in a higher different dimension. Do you understand me? So being 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 in spirit, being spiritual. When you are stepping into being spiritual, that means you are trying to dictate the narrow road, the road leading to that spiritual awakening. Okay, now for someone being when you are born, you are given a spirit. Right from the day you are born, you are given a spirit which is living inside you, which is breathing through you, which you are breathing through uh, uh, as a human being. Okay, as a human being, you have that spirit in you, and you need to nurture that spirit. What are you feeding that spirit? What are the things you feed that spirit? Are you feeding that spirit the things that you need to be feeding that spirit as a living soul? Okay, because if you are feeding the spirit with wrong things, that is what your spirit will be acquiring and receiving. Okay, it's just like when you find yourself in the midst of people who are smokers, definitely you become your spirit will begin to accept those people who are spirit of smoke, who smokes. You begin to adopt their energies inside you, and that their energies will accumulate and dominate that spirit in you to eat the same thing they are eating. You see, you are now feeding your spirit that as you're smoking, which means you are giving your spirit what you other people are eating, which means is the group of people you find yourself also can affect your journey in this life. Let me just say the set of people you will come across in this life will the set of people you work with in this life is going to determine the outcome what you are going to achieve in terms of your spiritual journey, in terms of your life journey in this lifetime. Do you understand me? So likewise, so like I said, the spirit we're talking about, the spiritual awakening drives from the spirit, and before driving from the spirit, you are heading into the spiritual. When you have spirit, the spirit inside you, it is shows that you are alive. Your spirit is alive. You are living, you are breathing, but you are going to be studying, awakening from the crash to live to the expectation of your calling in this life. Because when you live in spirit, you begin to eat the fruit of the spirit. All right. When you live in spirit, you begin to eat the fruit of the spirit. But when you live in flesh, you begin to accumulate the fruit of the flesh. So it depends where you find yourself as you are watching this. Okay, if you find yourself you are living in the spirit, that shows you are going to be achieving the fruit of this spirit. But if you are living in the flesh, that means you are going to be achieving the spirit of living in the flesh. Okay, and let me also let you know that those that live in the flesh, in the things of the world, let me make it more clearly the way you can able to understand it a little bit. Those who we use a word that living in the world. When you are living in the world, you don't know, you don't want to care whether you don't care if something exists, or you live a life like that God does not exist. There's not like Christ. There's not like ancestors. There's not like a spirit guide. That you live a life commonly. You spend your life. You invest your life in the things that you don't even know how it existed and it beginnings. Okay, so when you are living in flesh, know is that your inner spirit still need to be awakening because you are living in flesh. You have not even awakening your spirit. Talk more of being spiritual. Let me tell you something. Being living in the spirit is not an easy thing. That is one thing you need to understand. Living in the spirit, you have to eat the fruit of the spirit. The fruit of the spirit is not all about buying fruit to eat. No. Hello, am I communicating? It's not all about buying fruit in the market, different type of fruit eating. That shows you are eating the fruit of the spirit. No. The fruit of the spirit is that you need to obey the law of the spirit. Okay? Obey the commandment of that true spirit in you. Because nobody born as a demon. It's you choosing to become a demon, or you choosing to become who you want to become. Okay, nobody born as a evil man or evil woman. It is what you choose to grow yourself in and what you choose to give your life to. That is how you position your spirit to operate. Nobody born a witch. If someone gives you a witch to eat, or you practicing a witchcraft, before you become a witchcraft, your spirit begin to adopt that craft, witchcraft. All right. But when you choose to eat the spirit of this fruit of this spirit, is to you one is to you to start to be honesty, to be trustworthy. You to be trustworthy, get clear, write it down. It's not about you that someone you are going to the church praying that you are eating the fruit of this spirit. That's not what high priest is talking about. I am talking about for you to be eating the fruit of the spirit before going to the spiritual awakening. First of all, you have to know that you need to be honesty to yourself first. To be honesty to yourself first, and become honesty to people around you. Become an example, a good example to your community, a good example to your family, a good example to your friends and family and people you come encounter. This is a journey of being spirit, taking the part in the fruit of the spirit. Okay, being honesty and speaking the truth when truth is needed, because some of you you know the truth and you will not speak it, and you keep it and turn it from A to Z. Instead of A, you turn it to Z. Therefore, that is not the fruit of the spirit. You are not into that. That is why when a reverend wants to become a reverend, and when a pastor before pastor become a pastor, or anybody in a spiritual journey, before you are going to be ordained, you are going to be swear that you speak the truth of the spirit. You won't speak opposite of it, which you cannot speak from the flesh. You should speak from the spirit. Hello, am I communicating? Okay, so living in the spirit require you to be honesty to this humanity in this world we are living in. You need to be upstanding. Don't be someone that someone will see and point as someone that is my enemy, or don't be someone that your family will recognize as a bad meat or a bad son in the family. All right, these are the things that you need to know, that if you are be in a space to go in the spiritual journey or in a spiritual awakening journey, you need to start from your spirit, uh, starting to nurture your spirit, live in the spirit, be truthful to yourself and be truthful to others. Be honesty to yourself and be honesty to the others. Okay, know what the truth in life and what is lie. You will know the difference between the two, and you choose one. When you choose that narrow road, because going through the narrow is very difficult, which means the one leading to where God is. God does not make a road straight for you. If you want to become honest, that is when God will throw the temptation across to you. He will give you challenge to know if you are worthy of that what you claim to be. He will give you a challenge. Okay, you want to be a reverend sister. Okay, he will set many men to you to test your faith. Will you fall for any man? No, reverend sister, they say reverend sister does not marry. You know it. But when you choose to, I want to become a reverend sister, that is when God will say, okay, you want to become a reverend sister, right? Don't worry, I will test your faith. In any circumstance, in any time, anywhere you find yourself, you see many men, handsome men, rich men coming after you. That is what it is. That is when the temptation will come. That is when the trial will come. That is where you are going to face what they call encounter of challenges. From that stepping stones, when God throw it to you, you overcome it. You will say, okay, my child is trying to become what he promised to become. He allow you to move that step. Okay, so you will become you when you overcome first steps, then you step into he throw another step for you. This is how you grow in spirit. Okay, when you begin to get more deeper for understanding what your spirit, the spirit, flesh of living in flesh and living in spirit, because your enemy is the flesh. This flesh, you see, your enemy is this flesh. You see this flesh, you see your enemy, the things of the flesh, that is your enemy. For you not for identifying the food of the spirit. Okay, this flesh is your enemy, because many of us we live in the flesh, not in the spirit. When you live in the spirit, you don't care what you put on your body. You don't care when people talk about what you dress. So, do I look bad? But it's in you, you are mighty. Because not that you don't know to put, you don't know exactly what to put in your body, but you manage life the way you find the life that moment. People may buy the expensive clothes, expensive cars, and drive, live in a mansion, but because you are living in the spirit, because you know where your spirit is taking you to, you know where you are heading to, huh? Because it's not the way you think that person will think. Do you hear me? Because when you are living in the spirit, you will begin to understand things in a different way. You will understand when something is yes, when something is no. That is when you begin to live in the spirit. When you begin to live that in spirit, when you begin to know to deny the negative attitude of human beings, that is when you begin to get in contact into your spirit. Because when you begin to eat the taste of the flesh, when you begin to live in flesh, you always be dominated. You will be dominated with the people that lives in that flesh. They have given their life, their spirit is not even in touch, talking connected in the spiritual room. Their inner spirit is already be controlled by outside forces, outside energy. Okay, you are going to be controlled by outside energies. Okay, so you being in touch with your spirit, inner spirit, it will be difficult for deceiving spirit to deceive you, or those who live in flesh to come into your spirit and deceive you very easily. Okay, so that is when, when you are not a born again Christian. Okay, because I know when I was not going to church, when I was not a servant of this our amazing God in heaven, I when a pastor or anybody preacher come to me to preach to me, I don't listen to that person, because I love to do a lot of things that, for example, I live my life the way I want. Are you getting my point? I don't know that God is existing. But when I begin to accept my inner spirit, when I begin to awakening my inner spirit to listen, I begin to find out that there's difference between living in the flesh and living in the spirit. Because when you are living in the spirit, that is when you begin to identify your part in this life. That is when you begin to identify your journey. You begin to emphasize how to find out what actually your purpose here on this earth. Are you getting my point? All right. So now, when you begin to assess that, when you begin to go into understanding the fruit of the spirit, that is when you begin to acknowledge, acquire the energy from the spirit. You begin to download the wisdom, the knowledge of the nature, the knowledge. You begin to understand this world. Okay, when something happen, even when you sleep, you had a dream and you wake up, your dream you had, you will be able to interpret that dream. Do you understand me? Within yourself, as you wake up, you will have that capacity to interpret what the real meaning of that dream you had. Do you understand me? If you are just coming in, you are highly welcome, please. Okay, how are you doing? So, connecting into your spirit, eating the fruit of the spirit, you must know that you need to surround yourself with the people who love what the word of God is all about. The people who love what the journey of spiritual kingdom is all about. If you are to live in the spirit. But if you are surrounding yourself with the people who live in the flesh, it will be difficult for you to get in touch with your spiritual life. Difficult. Because those that live in the flesh will carry you unaware. They will take you along with them. Do you understand me? So being living in the flesh, living in the spirit, you must choose one. Because living in flesh will mislead you. Living in the spirit will definitely connect you to your life path. It's going to take time, but it's not going to. You must get there, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time, but it requires your patience to you to pass the narrow gates you are going to be encountering. Because when the enemy sees you carrying your Bible, not only carrying your Bible, when the enemy sees that, yes, you focus on that Bible given to you as a Christian, you focus on it, you want to know the deep meaning of that Bible, they will come after you. They will come after you to distract you from that call, from that you knowing what is inside that Bible. Because some 80% of people in the church don't really know what is Bible, the meaning of that Bible. They don't even know the spiritual meaning of that Bible. They don't even know the content inside the Bible. All they know is that when they carry Bible to church and the pastor preach and the man of God preach or the priest preach or the priestess preach, they will uh, accept what he said and read the chapter and read the quotation. That's all. In that church, that is when the quotation and the understanding of what they read, that's where it ends. When they leave from that state of that congregation boundary, that is all. That is the end of the reading the Bible. They will take it home and drop it in the cupboard where the Bible belong. Do you understand me? That is not that you are living in the spirit. That not shows your Christianity. That doesn't show that you are living in the spirit. Those that live in flesh, that is how they operate. They can only touch the Bible only when they are going to church. They are going to church to show off, not to show God that they really want to know what God is or what is about the spiritual in the Christianity. Are you with me? So for you to get to know all about your spiritual self is to start to know about your spirit. That is number one. You need to start to deny the things of the flesh. Okay? Yes, sometimes you may be deceived, but make sure you realize yourself in your spiritual connection. Because your spiritual connection, that is where your destiny, your future, your plan in this life, your purpose, your calling in this life, your achievement, that is where it lies. Hello, are you getting what I'm saying? Getting in touch, knowing your spiritual purpose, your spiritual self, that is where your spiritual self is. You are knowing your higher self and knowing your spiritual self and practicing your eating that fruit of the spirit and connecting deeply into your spirit and know exactly what your spirit need in this time, in this life we are in. That is when you begin to see the journey of your life. All right, so like I spoke to my audience last time in TikTok when we had the topic about the spirit. You know, we discussed, I told them, and based on what we discussed, to you to become a spiritual awakening, you need to know about spirit. What is spirit? Okay, now I'm going to give you some insight about that spirit that you have in you. Now, what is that spirit that that you need to be awakening? Here we are here to give more clarification about spiritual awakening. Someone becoming a spiritual awakening, what are the benefits and what are going to be the outcome? What are the experiences you are to get as becoming that spiritual awakening? Hello? So, right, what is the spirit? Because some of us may see spirit as a ghost. Some of us see spirit as those people who have died. You see somebody ghost, we see spirit as a ghost. And that is what many people feel. That spirit. If you ask many people, if you doubt me, ask people in the spirit in the street today, what is spirit? Okay, then you tell you that spirit is a ghost. Those who have died and their soul has ascended and they are no more in their flesh. Though that's the people they see as they are the spirit. All right, not knowing that in them lies the spirit. Because as I'm speaking, it is my spirit that's speaking. Spirit is the spirit that is inside you. The spirit God give you, the spirit is the God in you. Hello? Spirit is not only the ghost or the things those who have died and go beyond. No. The spirit we are talking about is the spirit the God give to you the right day you are born. You enter your mom womb, begin to kick. That is the spirit we are talking about. That is the God in you. Because the God says your body is the Bible says your body is the temple of God. You know that. So when Bible explain to you in that way, that doesn't mean this is your flesh. It means the spirit in you. That is the body of God. That's the body of spirit of God in you. And that spirit we are talking about, that God in you, is what we are discussing here. That's the spirit we are discussing here. All right. We are not discussing about the spirit of the ghost, those who have died and go beyond. We are discussing about the spirit in you, which is the God in you, because your body is the temple of God, as it is being written in the Bible. Okay, so now that spirit is you. That is what we are talking about. Now that spirit is you. What is it? So now spirit is the non-physical part of person. Okay, spirit is no physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and characters, the soul. Okay, that is the soul in you. That is the soul in you. Are you getting me? And these are the things we call soul, psychic, inner self, inner being, essential beings, animal, ego, and so on. I repeat again, spirit is the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotion and character, the soul, okay? And these are the things we call soul, okay? That is your spirit, psychic, inner self, your inner being, essential beings, an animal, ego, and so on. Do you understand me? That is the spirit. By the time you understand this one, then you begin to know that yes, then we are like the idols, sun being God and man, right? We are like the idol, sun being God and man, right? All business, God only. All business. All business, I don't really understand your question. Please make it clearly so that I can understand you with your question. All right. Then we are like the idol, sun, being God and man, right? Don't really make it clear for me because I don't really understand your question clearly. So, your inner being is that spirit in you. Your inner being, the spirit we are talking about. We have different spirit. I didn't say, I said the spirit in us, that is God in us. That is God in us. Okay, that spirit in us. What is speaking in me is the God in me. Let me make it clear to you. What is speaking in me is the God in me. This you are saying is not the high priest. The high priest you see is the one speak, the voice you are hearing. It's not the body you are seeing, but the voice you are hearing. That is the high priest. That is the God in me, the spirit in me. That is, as you are writing this message, that spirit in you, giving you that privilege to write and drop this message, that is the God in you. Your body is just a flesh where your God is living. Okay, so God, the men in this world are the gods we see, and the women on this world are the goddess we see. Okay, the men we see are the masculine energies we see in this planet. The female we see here in this planet are the feminine energy we got in this planet. So the men in this world are the God you can see physical. They are the God you see. The men, let me clarify it for you. The men you see before you are God. When you treat any man bad, you are treating your fellow man, you are the God in that person. You are treating the man in that, the God in that person bad, not the flesh. You are just maltreating the God inside that person. And every man on this world is a God, because the Bible say the body, your body is temple of God. That the creator, that spirit in you as a man, that is the God in you. If you want to live like God, you need to maintain that spirit in you for you to live like God. Likewise, the feminine part of our body, our people, our children on this life. In this body, as I'm sitting, I have my feminine and masculine energy within me. Okay, so coming into my body where the Spirit of God lies, in this Spirit of God in me, it has that feminine and masculine energy, so that I will clarify it to you. In this body you are seeing, I have masculine and feminine energy. All right, so that is my yin yang energy. So my feminine energy is my feminine part of my spirit, and my masculine energy is my masculine masculine energy part of my spirit. Okay, so some people cannot afford to stand up and become awakening. They drive their feminine energy from their divine counterpart, from their feminine, from their feminine, that is their women, and the women draw the masculine energy from the man. When two of them come together, then it can produce something unique. But somebody can become, when you become spiritual awakening, you possess this energy. It is in a woman, it is in every man. Okay. Okay, so the idol Son of God said he was God in man form. So I said, then so are we, right? So who are you referring as idol? Is it me? I don't know. All blessed, all blessed. So I don't know exactly what you're saying here. You know your own spiritual knowledge, the point, the level of your own understanding. All right, so for your own understanding, you know it for the level you understand it. So, but not in the level others understand it. Okay, so I am here to explain to you so that the spirit in you is that God in you, is the God in you. Go and do this research very well. Travel from here to the whole part of this world. You will never find God anywhere. Travel from where you are to the whole part of this world. You find what they call God anywhere. God is in you. That spirit in you, it is God himself. That God in you. That's why the Bible said the temple of that your body is the temple of God. That is where God lives. Let me tell you in different way you can understand it. When you look at the moon and the sun, the moon represents the goddess and the sun represents the God. Okay, that is where God lives. The sun you see today, that is when the God we call upon, you feel and you think and you call. That is where there is. Okay, the moon you see today, that's when the feminine energy drives from. That's when the goddesses lives. Those high goddesses you may think of today that represent our feminine energy. Meanwhile, I'm not going to go more deep to explain this to you, but I'm going to be giving you more explanation based on the awakening. When becoming a spiritual awakening, you are to pass different journey. You are to go different journey. You are to experience different things, different challenges, different, and you are to encounter different problems in your life, because the problem you encounter, that's and you overcome each problem that come your way. That is how you grow on your spiritual journey, because things of the flesh will try to stop you. Things of the flesh will try to block your journey of your spiritual self. Okay, therefore, like I said, the opposite of spirit, okay, is the body and the flesh. Like I told you from the beginning, this body and your flesh is the opposite of the spirit inside you. That is what challenged that spirit in you. That is what challenged you knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you are purpose here on this earth, knowing the reason why you come into this existence for the first place. Okay, so if you pay close attention, and you will drive very close to where I am trying to put you through, because many of us, we are dominated and being crowned, circled with something deeply in us that it is going to be very difficult for many of us to understand even what they call if they when they ask you differentiate between the Christianity and religion, you can't explain. Okay, you cannot explain that, and you call yourself a Christian. Okay, because that's a different between religion and Christianity. All right, so these are the things that you need to know. Okay, so body and flesh is only the things that can oppose your spiritual awakening. Okay, because when you begin to live in flesh, it will hurt you. It will be difficult for you to understand yourself, to understand your purpose on this life, to understand exactly what you are born to do, to understand what really mission that God gives to you to accomplish here on this planet. Okay, it will be difficult for you to understand the meaning of the nature, because nature has a purpose for you, and it will be difficult for you to understand the nature. Is when you begin to understand the nature, that when the nature will give you back reason why you are here in this lifetime. So my dear, all blessings, so you ask important question that I will answer you. Because if you are here, if you are in a Torino, precisely in Italy, if you are here in the Torino in Italy, make me see you one-on-one so that we can ask ourselves question one-on-one. Okay, so spirituality is not about Christian. It's not about you being Christianity. Okay, because Christianity is part of religion. So let me clear you. Christianity is part of religion. Religion is combined with different types of believers. Are you hearing me? So let me get you clear for that. Now let's go. Then the true meaning of spirit, it is a force within a human being, thought to be giving the body life, energy, and power. And this spirit is what we call the Holy Spirit. I repeat again. The true meaning of spirit in you, open your ear, in case if you see high priest as an idol worshiper. Okay, The true meaning of spirit in you, it is a force within a human being thought to give the body life, energy, and power. And this spirit is what we call the Holy Spirit. Okay, that is the Holy Spirit in you. When you make it holy, it will give you the true life purpose, the true purpose of you in this life. But if you make it unholy, that is where you find yourself on dump, where you live into a rough life that you are not a part of. You are not even part of it. So when you make your spirit, when you live a holy, make your spirit a holy place, a Holy Spirit, that is when it will drive you into your path, your real path in this life. But when you feed your spirit with things of the flesh, that is where you are going to be lost in life. You become confused. Many of us are confused in this life because they don't even know what they are here in this life to do. Okay. Now I'm understanding my this question. Now my spirit is telling me what all blessings say. He said, then we are like the idol son being God and man, right? Listen, any man, let me make it this way. I don't care because I'm on YouTube. Later you can rewatch, you can cut this particular place and give people to watch. Any man on this planet is God before you. Any man on this planet is God before you. Man is God, and man is the goddess you see. They are the gods. That's the God himself. What creates human being is man. So man is God before you. So I don't know whatever belief you may believe, but I'm telling you from the deepen spiritual experience and knowledge which I have gone through. Man on this earth is God before you. When that man keep himself holy, he will be a miracle son of God on this planet. That's why they say you become a miracle son of God in this planet, because that spirit in you is the God himself as a man. As a woman, that spirit in you as a woman is the goddess of this planet we see. Are you hearing me? So for you to get balance into your feminine, your yin yang energy, is going to be difficult, because many of us, we are focusing on one part of our spiritual story. Okay, we are focusing only God, and that God is our masculine energy. Is the God govern the masculine energy. We forget that we have goddess as well, which govern our feminine energy. Two things involved in every human being: masculine and feminine energy. And we need to know these two things. Knowing only one thing can never make you balance in this life. Neither you sow yourself into something else for you to achieve something in your life. For example, when many people involve into something they don't really know, just to acquire the things of the world, acquire wealth on this world. Why? Because they are not spiritual awakening. They are inquisitive and hurry to achieve what flesh need, not what spirit need. Because those you see acquiring wealth even before their age of that wealth. They are living in flesh and not living in the spirit. That is, when someone lives in the spirit, there is a grown-up energy growing in you. That masculine energy growing in you, that feminine energy, you are going to grow very faster in the masculine energy. But you see, feminine energy difficult for many. Not everybody on earth today knows their feminine part of their life, and that's why they find it very, very difficult on the journey they are in. When they are not embracing their feminine, for them not understand the meaning of their feminine energy, it's difficult for them to understand their journey. Because they will go to church, pray, do fasting from year to year. So many of them will survive from hand to mouth. Unless someone who possesses that masculine and feminine energy in that high dimension can lay his or her hand on that person and break that yoke that is holding him or her down before that person can see through herself. Okay, so now I want to also let me make this clear again. I said it is the true meaning of spirit in us. It is a force within a human being thought to give the body life, energy, and power. And this spirit is what we call the Holy Spirit. It is the author and the giver of knowledge and power. Okay, it is the author and the giver of knowledge and power. Okay, so and we are going to read this quotation. I'm going to give you a quotation from the Bible, John chapter 4 verse 24. He says God is the spirit. God is spirit. Okay, where is all business for you don't understand. Maybe you may be a pastor or someone a person who are very close to pastor in the church. I want you to go and read this very chapter in your Bible, John chapter 4 24, because we read Bible but we don't deeply understand Bible. Okay, John chapter 4 verse 24. It says God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship in the spirit and in truth. Okay, God is the spirit, and that is the spirit in you. That's why he urges you to worship in spirit and in truth. That is the fruit of the spirit I'm talking about. Remember, I said from the beginning, to give the spirit the flesh, to give the spirit the fruit of the spirit, is not only you going to buy fruit on the market or going to eat different type of the fruit. Is the giving your spirit the fruit of the spirit. That the fruit of the spirit is you being the honesty, know what is true, and knowing the bad and knowing the truth, and be honesty to yourself and be honesty to everybody you see in this life we are living a positive life. Here is John chapter 4 says God is spirit, and the same Bible say that your body is the temple of God. That's where your God lives, and it make it clear. That's why I said you can travel from here to any part of this place in the world. You can never find God anywhere, because the God you are looking for is inside you. Hello, are you listening to me? Call me tomorrow, call me next tomorrow. I will tell you the God you are looking for is inside you. God is a spirit. John chapter 4 verse 24 said it. God is a spirit, and which he says that your body is the temple of God. That, and what is temple? The spirit of God lives inside you. The spirit of that spirit in you is that God you are talking about. It is how you handle the spirit inside you. That is how you are going to come out to the world. If you build your spirit in a very manner that people will call you a servant of God, that is when people will see you as a servant of God. If you build your spirit in a way people will call you, this is a servant of the demons, this is what people will see you. Are you hearing me? So John chapter 4:24 says, God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship in the spirit in the truth. All right, that is the fruit. When you are worshiping God, make sure you are worshiping in the spirit and in truth. That was what I told you. That is the fruit of the spirit. When you live in truth and honesty, you are eating the fruit of the spirit, and the spirit in you will be awakening. From the bottom to the top. Are you with me? Let's go further. Now, from the spirit, now that is where we drive the meaning of spiritual. When you begin to live this honesty life and begin to operate from the place of truth and honesty, worshiping God, that spirit that lives inside you, when you begin to live honesty and begin to live according to the word of the Spirit of God in you, you begin to experience. Now from there that is when you begin to express spiritual world. You begin to go into spiritual. Are you getting me? Because many of us are being confused, we are being deceived and redirected in different ways, in which we do not understand exactly what actually the meaning of God and even the meaning of spirit living inside us. We think that we are just living life as we are. Just God is in us. God lives inside us. That's why he said your body is the temple of God. Do you hear me? What is the meaning of spiritual? Now we are heading to spiritual now. We are into spiritual now. Before you become spiritual, you might be feeding your spirit in a very positive way. Because the moment you begin to feed your spirit in a very positive way, that is when you begin to live spiritual. You begin to acquire the spiritual knowledge. That is where your spirit begin to be open to receive the spiritual knowledge, taking you from one dimension to the next dimension. Do you understand me? Okay, spiritual is about relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. All right? Do you understand what I just said there? It's about relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. When you start to become spiritual, when you become from spirit, living in the spirit, becoming spiritual, you are heading to, when you be heading to spiritual, that is when your attitude, your behavior, your actions towards others, your love towards others begin to affect human being positive way. if you begin to affect people in a positive way, deeply, both in love, in character, in some other things, that is when you are becoming spiritual. You will see they will begin to find you. You begin to have that key entrance towards the spiritual. Okay, you are now becoming from spirit to becoming, your spirit is now becoming spiritual. You are now moving from that your spirit state entering into spiritual room. Okay, because when you begin to affect people, imparting knowledge to people, imparting people positively, giving them the true word of God, imparting people positive, that's when you are becoming awakening through getting into spiritual. You are you start to experience the spiritual knowledge. Okay, now number one, now we got spiritual from the word spirit. Why did I say so? I will tell you why. Now we got spiritual from the word spirit, which comes from the Latin word for breathe, and it simply means the things that animate life. And what do I mean by that word animate? I'll explain to you. Christian Okafor, you are welcome. Christian Okafor, we are talking about spiritual awakening. Christian Okafor, if you are just joining, I don't know where you are joining from. Where are you joining from? It is evening here. Good evening, and you are welcome to this stream. Okay, so we are discussing about spiritual awakening. Okay, and the benefits of being spiritual awakening. Okay, so if you are just joining, you are welcome. All right, so when you are in a state, when you are moving from the spirit, from your spirit going into spiritual, that is when you are going to be experiencing the knowledge of spirituality. Okay, you are going to spiritual, because if you don't feed your spirit the fruit that it needs, which is being that honesty and worshiping God in truth and honesty, you cannot move from there to step into spiritual. You only remain in that body and flesh and body. But when you begin to feed your spirit, living in honesty life, living that being honesty, worship God in truth and honesty, that is when you begin to see you begin to express what the spiritual world is all about. Your spirit begin to open your senses, begin to open your knowledge, begin to supply you the knowledge, and begin to open your mindset towards the spiritual world, begin to show you direction, begin to tell you the things about the spiritual. It will begin to open your eye in the things of spiritual world. Okay, you will begin to see things. That is when you begin to acquire the knowledge that when you do this, you can get in touch with such what spiritual level. Okay, you begin to acquire some certain things. That's when you begin, when you see a leaf with a leaf like this, maybe those who are into traditional way, because if you are not spiritual, it cannot know what leaf can do in a human life. Okay, so it is when you are becoming that spiritual, that is when your spirit begin to guide you towards something that has to do with spiritual. You are not going to be living, if you are living worldly life, you are not spiritual. You are just living body. You are living in a body, flesh and body. When you are a spiritual person, you don't mingle. It's hardly to find yourself in a midst of those that live a worldly life. It's very difficult, because your spirit will not allow you to be in there, because you are going to be observing their energies, and their energies may drive you out of your point of your journey. All right, these are the reason why so many spiritual men of God are not, it's very difficult to find them in a public or in a circle of midst where you find them living a worldly life. It's very difficult, because reason why is because they are now spiritual awakening. Okay, and you being spiritual, eating that, taking that fruit of the spirit. Christian Okafor, you are still, are you a spirit man? Are you a pastor or what? Please, you can stay and listen, or watch my channel. You will see the name of my channel. I am a high priest. I'm a high priest. So if you want to know, I'm a high priest, and the ordained one, not just lame. I'm ordained priest. Should be in case if you want to know. I have answered your question. Is it clear to you now? Okay. Now, now when you stepping from a place of spirit, waking, being giving, feeding your spirit, from feeding your spirit the thing that your spirit need, that is being the honesty, serving God in truth and honesty. That is where you are going to be stepping up to spiritual level. Okay, if you don't do this, you cannot step into spiritual level. You only rely on what people on. You only rely on just normal environment life you see. Okay, all right, but when you are feeding your spirit with what the spirit needs, you will begin to see it's going to start to open your eye into the level of spiritual. Okay, now let me I say now we are going to now know the spirit up, what is the spiritual means. Now we got spiritual from the word spirit, which comes from the Latin word for bread, and it simply means the things that animate life. And what do I mean by the word animate? I'm going to explain to you. Animate, it simply means to give life to, or make life. Okay, make alive. Show example to you now. Let me show you example. Okay, to you what I mean by that, animate. For example, when you entering into when you are entering into spiritual, what comes to your mind, what begin to come into your mind is that how can you make a man or a human being live a better life? What can you do to save a life? This is what is going to be coming inside your mind. What can I do to save a life? What can I do, excuse me, for a person to live a better life? Okay, when you are going into spiritual, when you are walking in the street, you might come across a madman in the street. Looking at that madman, you will see that your spirit begin to tell you about that, madman. Begin to tell you that your mind will begin to tell you, oh, I wish God will permit me, I will heal this man. You begin to think positive about that madman. That means you begin to get in touch into spiritual journey. That is how it starts. You begin to be awakened consciously. You begin to see that there is different, because not everybody see that madman the way you are seeing him. Okay, you are thinking about how you can make that man eat well, wear a good clothes, dress proper, and live normal as a human being. But other people who live in the flesh, when that madman come across them, they would rather use stick and iron pursue them. Come on, come on. They will abuse him, but they don't know actually what that person is going through. Okay, some people who are mad in the street today is not because they choose to mad, it's because neither something used them, or they do something, they committed something that turned them into that madness, or something used them to become mad. These two things must happen to any madman or a madwoman in the street. So, but when you are going into spiritual journey, when you see something wrong, your spirit will dictate it. Even when you are in a midst of a place where there is judgment is going on, you will begin to tap into those who are saying the truth and who are saying the lies among them. When they bring judgment to you to judge, when you ask the question between the two people, you will know when they begin to explain what happened. Before the explanation finish, you will know who find each other trouble, and you will know exactly where the problem comes from, and you will clear the mess very easily. And when you make that judgment clear to them, you will see there will be calming spirit in between them, because the way you judge the case. All right, that means that your spirit is awakening into that journey. All right. Secondly, to bring life into something, to make something, like I will give you an example. God created human being out of this soil. Out of the soil, this soil we match. Created out of the soil, he molded a human being and he breathed life into it. That life he breathed into it, that is the animate that I'm talking about. Giving that thing, that particular image, that life, that spirit in him. That is for you, giving person a life he desires, or treating person into, for example, if I come across with you and I see a situation you are passing through, and I know I can have that capacity to solve your problem, I solve it for you. That means I have animate you, I have given you life, I have breathed life into you. All right, so that is really what I mean by the word animate. Okay, giving life to something, or make alive something become alive. Okay, so that is the way you start to be driving into spiritual. I'm breaking it down for you because not everybody. I am not preaching you for you to maybe I'm not preaching for you to use, for example, people do preaching, teach out of just to gain money, or that. Me, I am telling you the way I am seeing this, the knowledge, the way I have studied it, and the way I have seen what is about spirituality. Okay, and by telling you this, you can do more researching, because you don't need to live only by what you hear in the church. You don't need to live only what you hear from the church or from the congregation you live in. You need to also do research by yourself. Go deeper into the religion you practice. Religion is not only one. Religions contain both Christianity, Hinduism, and Voodoo. Those different type of believers is inside religion. So these are the things that you need to know about religion. Okay, do researching deeply about the spiritual practice you are practicing. All right, when you do researching, you will come across what I am teaching you here. I am teaching this on YouTube today. Today the 28th of September 2024. All right, and it will be here in YouTube in years to come. All right, which you can dig it out to rewatch it again. When you deep about your religion and what you are practicing, you will come across what I am teaching you here today, because many of you may be out of point asking a question that you have not searched. You know, it's just that a matter of time. I will come time to time to give knowledge, teach, so that you can able to understand. When you learn, when you listen to me finish, go and do researching. All right. So now, what am I saying? The full sense of spirituality. Let's now talk about the full sense of the spirituality. The full sense of the spirituality, it is the recognition of a feeling or sense or belief that there is something greater than thyself, yourself, something more to being human. You will begin to feel that there is something bigger, than being a human as yourself. There's something bigger that you have not seen, that is more bigger than human beings, that you have not seen. You will begin to dig deep into it to know what that means. That means you are not becoming spiritual, because spiritual is invisible thing that you can see. It's invisible. And it's only when you're spiritual is when you begin to download that spiritual things to come into your life. Okay, are you listening to me? So you begin to feel things in a different way, and you begin to assess things in a different way, and you begin to assess human being in a different way, and you begin to acquire some knowledge in a different way. When something happens in your life, you will see there will be a very calm way you are going to handle that. You're not going to handle that thing as like others handle. Those who live in world, when something happens, the next thing they will take a phone to call police or report you to the people in authority. That is the art quickly just to handle things. But those live in spirituality, those who are spiritual, when something happens, you know what they do? They slack back and take a look of that actions of that person. What really happened? He will look that action in a different dimension, not as like someone living in a flesh. Someone living in a flesh can act very speedily, and acting that speedily can damage a lot of things. Now, those who live in the spirit, they go back and examine someone action towards them. Is it words of him talking to him, or does that action worth your energy? Does that person worth your your word, or do you have time to invest fighting that person? These are the thing about spiritual. Someone who is spiritual, these are the steps they take. When you see somebody spiritual, it doesn't take it is very difficult to see somebody spiritual going to police, calling person police. It's very difficult. It will handle it spiritually, and spiritually is worse than somebody calling you police to arrest you for what you did. Spiritual arrest is bigger than physical arrest. Spiritual arrest will teach you a lesson that if you come out from it, you will begin to ask God, hey God, I will never invest my life in such thing or take part in such thing again in your life. You understand? Physical thing, calling police for you, I can call police for you tomorrow, you go and bail yourself, or somebody will come and bail you. Case closed. But when I engage you with spiritual court, that is when you are going to face the challenge. Not police is physical. You are just when you want to react as in flesh. Yes. So when you are going into that spiritual level, that is when you begin to see things. That's what this thing is saying here. It is you when you are beginning to experience spiritual things, you begin to assess things in a different dimension. You begin to believe things in a different dimension. Like some of you who are misquoting what I'm saying is the way you have believed things, Rich, because you might not believe things to the level I have studied, or because as I am studying, I'm still going to extent to some odd places others have not. I have not been. Even as a high priest I'm still studying the spiritual journey. I have not getting to more. You can't finish the study. You can't finish the study of the spiritual room, spiritual knowledge. You can't finish it. No man on this earth can finish every day. You got to study about the spiritual. You got to know more, because you can't finish. There's a lot of things, a lot of spiritual higher beings on this world. There's a lot of spiritual entities, spiritual beings that you don't know about. But many of us only know about Jesus. We know about Jesus as a savior, which I myself believe in, that Jesus is the savior. For you that writing something here, I am born again Christian. I was born and baptized in a Christianity. Even take the priesthood in Christianity. Before I was taking my own even crown as high priest in spiritual rooms. So forget about what you're writing here. I'm not here to debate with you. It is where you reach, is where you know. But when you begin to go, you will know there's a lot of knowledge you need to acquire about spirituality. Spirituality is not about seeing yourself as a Christian. It's not. It's what you study, you know. Spirituality, being spiritual, is the knowledge of the spiritual you have acquired. Your spirit have acquired the knowledge about the spiritual room that you have acquired. That make you spiritual, not Bible or leaves or going to a spiritual father who is teaching you, who is helping you to prepare charm for you or pray for you. You think that you are living in spiritual. No, it's you particularly, your spirit particularly inside you awakening. Don't you know that particular person who is giving you that charm, medicine, or praying for you was a time he was like you? Don't you know that? There was a time he was like you, seeking for someone to pray for him or her. There was a time he was like you. And because he chose to be awakening, he chose to be awakening the spirit in him. That's why he become that spiritual father you see today. He become that spiritual mother you see today. It's because they take their time to study themselves, know their spirit, and study what spiritual journey is all about. And they awakening that spirit in them, and the spirit in them now show them real part of them, what they are, what possession they have in terms of spiritual power. Because we understand things based on the way we study it. You can't understand things if you don't study things. If you are listening to me, go more deeper to read about spiritual journey or spiritual. What are the basis of spiritual? That's why take your pen and paper and come. What are the basis of the spiritual? What the spirit? I started from the spirit so that I can make it very easily for you to understand how the journey begins. The journey does not begin in a day. It does not begin from market to house. No, it doesn't begin from bed to outside. No, it begins from a place you begin to wake up, begin to feed your spirit in you as a human being, because Bible have said it that your body is a temple of the God. And I have given you a quotation here that Bible said that the book of John 4:24 says God is spirit, and your body is the temple of God. That is where God lives. Okay, that is where God lives. If you make that that body, that spirit, if you feed your spirit with positive life, that is when you are going to live that positive life. If you feed your spirit with negative life, you find yourself with negative peoples. Do you understand me? You attract those people who are into negative like you. If you live positive life, you are going to attract those people who live positive life, who are operating in the same direction with you, who are practicing the same knowledge religion with you. Okay. Now what I said about the full sense of spiritual, it is the recognition of a feeling or sense or belief that there is something greater than yourself, something more to being human. Okay, then the experience, and that the greater whole of which we are part is cosmic or divine in nature. Right? Okay, see, this nature now we are talking about here, we are talking about nature. I spoke about nature. Now, nature, when we talk about nature, you need to know about nature, because I would take the class differently, because people in life today they don't know that we live by what the nature offer us. Okay, and we don't know, some of us don't know anything about nature. Okay, we don't know about nature. Some people will hear nature, they don't really understand what the meaning of the nature. I'm going to, maybe our next class may be about nature. We talk about nature, because nature is what feed us in this life we are. Okay, so this cosmic or divine in nature. All right, so there is nature is what make up this life we are, and I will tell you, maybe we discuss that maybe in another class. Maybe that may be the next class, if I plan it for another day. All right, so in this, I will leave you with in this particular the sense of the full sense of spiritual, the spiritual. Okay, I will leave you with Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23. Read it. Okay, go and read it. Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 and 23, and First Peter chapter 2 verse 1 to 25. Try read this quotation. It will tell you more about spiritual. All right, now coming to spiritual awakening, because someone has to be spiritual before you become awakening. You need to be spiritual before you become spiritual awakening, before awakening come in. You see, it's different thing. Spiritual awakening, you need to be spiritual before you become awakening. Okay, now this spiritual awakening, all right, what exactly do we mean by that spiritual awakening, and what do you need to know about this spiritual awakening? All right, spiritual awakening is to understanding the dark and the light. It's very simple. It's to understanding the dark and the light, and I'm going to tell you the dark and the light. Not only you may think that it's like light, as light is here, or night as night. If I off light here, the night come. It's not what I really mean. To understand the dark and the light is to understanding the dark and the light of oneself. Okay. Because I want you to say that, I want you to cut this video, this place I say this, that high priest says, because every human being on this life has demon in them, has dark side in them and light side in them. What I mean by that, being spiritual awakening is when you are going to be understanding the dark and light. This dark and light I'm talking about is to understanding your feminine and your masculine energy. All right. Now, and it clearly here said to understanding oneself. What I mean by your masculine and your feminine energy is to understanding your right, your left, what your right means and what your left means. All right. So when you are being spiritual awakening, you are going to be understanding the demon in you. You begin to come encounter, you begin to see the demon in you, because the demon in you is what bring the character in you, the real you into the surface. Some people pretend to be church goer. Some people pretend to be pastor. Some people pretend to be a reverend. But when you, if you live close to pastors or reverend, pastors, you will see the kind of encounter they have with their wife. That is where you see the real personality of a pastor. You call a pastor in church, or a reverend. You call a reverend in a church, or a man of God. You call a man of God. Because when you are spiritual awakening, you will be connected with your dark side of yourself and your light side of yourself. And when you are into this energy, you are not afraid of anything on this earth. That time your demon has waken up. Because Christianity find demon as that is the one you hear demon. I was eating with someone in a hotel one day, and I was telling the person that they were talking about demon. This person is demon. This person is demon. I tell him, what did she know? What did she know about demon? And she told me that demon is that someone is someone who is very possessed with evil. Is that true? You that is watching this thing, is that true? Is someone that possessed with evil, that is demon? You that is watching this video, is that true? If it is true, drop it on the comment section. Let me know if it is true. Demon, everybody has demon in them. And when you understand the demon in you, that is when you become awakening in your conscious, in terms of your spiritual journey. Because many of us, 80% of us, live in masculine energy. We don't live in our feminine and masculine energy. When you live in a masculine energy, you don't bother about other partner. As I am, I can live like this even without. I don't have time if a woman is around me or not around me, because I am balanced enough. I don't care. I may stay like this. I may be in my energy like this 1 year without even having an encounter with the woman. That's to show you that I am not. You are not. You, for example, when you are awakening, don't you think some spiritual people, some man, reverend, you see, they make them not to be married? What the meaning of that? What do you mean by that? Is for them to acquire that their spiritual energy, that their feminine and masculine energy. When you see them, they feel strong and gallant, even more younger than anybody who is married, sleeping with his or her wife all the time. There is energy from that. There is positive. There is those who does not know their feminine energy can drive, or masculine energy can drive by having encounter with your partner. But when you are when you realize your dark side and your light side, that is when you become awakening in a spiritual level. You become spiritual awakening. And when you become spiritual awakening, that means you are balanced into your feminine. You begin to realize your purpose. That is when you begin to realize your purpose here on this earth. That's when you begin to see why you are here on this earth. The reason why you are you begin to see the purpose of you being born on this earth. Are you hearing me? You begin to drive towards your mission. You begin to focus into your passion. You begin to see yourself in a high level authority. You begin to see yourself fearlessly before anybody. You begin to operate in a high level authority. You begin to communicate with high level, high spiritual beings that is beyond human beings, physical beings around. You begin to have encounter with them. You begin to see that something bigger than only being a human being on this earth. Are you hearing me? You see that human being drive, succeed, prosper by being very spiritual. Human beings are being succeed by being spiritual engagement. If you are not engaged in spiritual, you cannot succeed in anything you are doing in this life. That's why some people find it difficult, because they don't know their dark side of their life, and they determine to go and do ritual. And that ritual they are going to do has to involve with their demon inside them, and their demon inside them is going to demand something that they will remember and feel pain about it. You know why? Because you don't know yourself. You don't know your spiritual higher self. You don't know your demon, and you don't care to know them. Rather, you choose to go acquire the wealth which they're supposed to offer to you when you know them. Okay, for you going to do money ritual, it will result, they will demand what you love most. Neither they will demand your mother or your father or your first daughter or your daughter or even your life. It's because you want to achieve that dream, or you want to achieve that wealth. You want to acquire that wealth because you do not know, you didn't care to know your dark side of your life. You only see the light side of yourself. Okay? Because when I was discussing with that lady, I told her that everybody has demon. He said, God forbid, I don't have demon. I don't have demon. I keep quiet. I tell him that, don't worry. One day you will know what I mean by that demon. So when we are in that bar, we are eating, drinking, then my spirit just tell me, do something to provoke her, so that I will give her an example of the demon in her. If you now, you know one of it now, as I'm saying, see this, so that you know that every human being has demon. Now I try to make her feel, to provoke her, because I look of her, what can provoke her, and I do that. She become annoyed. She become annoyed. She becomes serious annoyed. I persisted. She provoke. Now, after everything we said, I now ask him, have you seen the demon inside you? When you are reacting in this way, do you think you are reacting out of Christianity or as a born again Christian? I tell him that I just wake up the little demon in you. Okay, so that action, that breath that she breathed by provoking, is the demon in her. But she don't know that demon. If she acquire spiritual way, she will understand that spirit that reacted inside her to tackle me on that, what I did to make her provoke. Because that was a particular force inside her that provoked her, that make her react in that way. That demon is what you as watching. That's what you need to know. When you get angry, you are operating with your dark side. Your dark side is angry. You need to know that demon. That demon has name and living inside you, but you don't know it. When somebody get quickly aggressive and kill someone, it's because that person possess a very powerful demon in him that is very strong. If that person can be a spiritual one, like a pastor or a reverend, that person can drive any evil spirit very speedily. I'm telling you this out of knowledge. Because when you provoke somebody, that is when you see the demon in him. So everybody has demons. So it should be case if you don't know the demon you see that people you talk about. Don't see if you go and research the meanings of the demons. The demon is some entity, some invisible higher beings. We call it higher beings, and these higher beings relies in the dark side of your life, which is your left, your feminine energies. That is where they lies. They are not in a masculine energy. That's why everybody lies praying about, oh, forgive, praying about God, talking about God. God is your feminine, your masculine side, which is a man, your masculine side. Then your demons, that is your feminine side. That is where your feminine side is where your riches, your wealth, your real self, that is where it lies. Why you develop your masculine first is for you to realize your feminine. If you are not in alignment with your feminine energy, it will be difficult for you to succeed in life. If you are fighting to succeed. Do you know why some people are being attacked? Those spiritual awakening, why some people attack them? Some evil demons. We have different demons. There are one that is opposing each other. Those that live in flesh. Those that control people, those demons that control people in flesh, not in reality, not in their real self. They are trying to block you not to identify your feminine part. When you are spiritual awakening, they will try to block you not to identify your feminine part. Because if you identify your feminine part, that is you become that awakening. You now know what the spiritual world is all about. You will begin to see things in a high level ways. You will become fearless before anything. You will become more connected to higher forces in a high level authorities. You will not even need anybody to pray for you to overcome challenges. When you become awakening, because this awakening inside you is going to give you the power and the knowledge to overcome challenges in life. When they throw challenges to you, it will be very common for you to solve. You are not going to be bothering yourself how to overcome the challenges the enemies throw to you. All right. So you are to, when you become spiritual awakening, like I said, you become fearless. You are not going to be afraid by anything challenge. And that moment you become awakening, you begin to see things in a high level ways. And again, you will see when you are spiritual awakening, you will also find it difficult to see yourself in hospital or even sick. Are you getting me? Because when you awakening both your feminine and masculine energy within you, you become balanced. It will be difficult for you to see yourself in hospital, even to have headache. When people are asking that sickness in the town, you are fearless. During coronavirus, I don't even care that coronavirus is existence. I'm telling you, I don't even care. I move I move with fearless, because I know it doesn't inexistent for me. When you are awakening, when you are connected, you see everything in a high dimension. Even before something manifests in the world, in this physical world, you will see it coming before it arrives. Because when during the time of Corona, when the Corona was starting, in my former city, I was teaching people then, and I was telling them that this Corona that is coming, because once I tap into of what is coming up, I receive messages about that. I say, okay, I have to come live on Facebook. This video is still on Facebook, in my Facebook account. So I have to go up. I begin to teach them. I teach them where it is this what is coming up, this coronavirus. That there will be a time this coronavirus is going to lead people. They are going to say that if you don't do this, you are not going to buy and sell, or you are not going to eat in a public or enter transportation. This is what are the things that I feel and see that is going to be coming along with this coronavirus. And after teaching it, I was telling people you have to pray hard. If you don't pray hard, you are going to fall into that victim of the law they are going to be put in because of that coronavirus, which many pastors, even they are the first people who for the victims. So believe, faith is one of the things that God can try you with, one of the things that to know if you are truly a true servant of Him. Yes, they say you should obey the law from the government, but not all law you obey from the government, because if government give a law to oppose your life, you have to defend yourself. All right. So then I was teaching them and let them know that this coronavirus that is coming, there will be a time everybody will be indoor, and they will give a kind of law that will say that if you don't take certain things, you cannot be in the market or even buy and sell or go with public transportation. If you are watching this video, it happened through the coronavirus, and this in my Facebook I made teach about that. It happened. This story happened in the Bible, and this corona is something that comes from people in authority, which they want to take and control the world, control people. Okay, because they want to introduce five five the coming of five generation. Okay. So because of that, because it's going to kill, when introducing that, it's going to affect a lot of people. They have to make it in that way so that it will not be like that. It's false. Everybody believe is that it's a sickness, a global sickness, or it is because of the introduction of the five generation, right? Technology that's coming, right? So the spiritual, let's start from the spiritual beginning. And see what in this particular class. So a spiritual awakening is really means for someone coming back to herself or himself, okay, and finding the awareness of a new reality and of the new reality of them, okay, and who they truly are in this life. When you become a spiritual awakening, you are going to be finding, you are going to be returning back to who you are. You know, when they say somebody is born again, somebody starting going back to study about her spirit, to learn about when you believe about Christ, believe about spirit, what is inner spirit, what is the flesh and body and flesh, what is that and that and that. But when you become a spiritual awakening, in this middle of when you become spiritual awakening, inside the spiritual awakening, that is where you in this spiritual awakening is where you find going back to your true roots of who actually you are. This is where you are going to be finding your real path in this life. What actually your purpose, your calling, your direction, your mission on this very earth. If you are not spiritual awakening, you can never find it, because the enemy that surround you will not allow you to tap into that your higher self, into your circle, to who you are. Because when you find who you are in your power, you will now control who you are and drive towards what you are and focus on what you are and focus on that your mission. And once you started it, when you are working and you focus on it, nothing anymore anybody can do to distract you from that focus, because you're already awakening in your third eye chakra, your crown chakra is already open. You are awakening. The journey, you are into the journey of that spiritual direction. Okay, so in this field, you are going towards your realization, and finding, being awakening on your purpose in this lifetime. All right, I'm going to read it again for you. A spiritual awakening is really means for someone coming back to her or his or herself and finding the awareness of a new reality of themselves, okay, and who they truly are. Okay, this is the place where you are going to find your real path and who you are. Okay, so in this point, you will discover or uncover the true meaning and purpose of life. And once you start, there will be no going back. When you begin to discover the true purpose of life, when you begin to identify the true purpose of your calling here in this life, there will no going back, because you are going to be doing what? Focusing and working towards that. There's nothing anybody can tell you for you to withdraw from that path, because already you are awakening into your higher self. You are working spiritually. You are, that is when that is what they say. You are now spiritual awakening. Okay, you are awakening into your conscious self, your higher self, your inner self. Everything about your spiritual path is now active. So I will show you exactly where you are to focus in this lifetime. Therefore, when you begin to realize the purpose, discover yourself, discover who you are, uncover and discover the meaning, true purpose of this life, and the reason why you are here in this first place. So when you start it, you will start to question the reality, even the government and the people's intention. Here you will begin to discover the deeper sense of your purpose in this life. Because when you are in awakening, when you are spiritual awakening, when you are into this journey, you will begin to see the ruler of this your nation, depending where you are. You begin when they are giving all sorts of their law, doing all those things they are doing on their seat. You are seeing exactly what needs to do, what is not need to do, and you can question them. You can come live streaming and begin to question them, tackle them, because you are awakening. When you are not awakening, you can't come out and speak to tackle your government in any form. Okay, so that is how it works, because when you are being operated from the high level authorities, when someone who is in a high level authority sees you, they will realize that this person is not someone you can easily deal with. Simply, they will invite you or call you, because there's someone in this life. There's someone in this life you cannot damage just like that. You cannot take his life in that life. If you try meaning of yourself while you are here. You begin to trace, discover, and uncover your reality in this life and the purpose of life. Okay, and when you start to do this, that's when you begin to drive to your rightful path in life. Alright. Now, I'm going to now tell you what can you benefit when you become this spiritual awakening. What are the beneficial? What are the benefits for being spiritual awakening? Alright. One, you are going to be positive. You are going to be positive psychological impact. You are going to have that positive psychological impact in you. Okay, you are going to have that positive psychological impact in you. Alright, when you are spiritual awakening. Alright, when you are spiritual awakening, you are going to have that psychological impact in you, and it will help to reduce some level of depression in you. Okay, it will help to reduce some level of depression in you, and it will also strengthen you in difficult time. Okay, when you are spiritual awakening, it will also help you in strengthen you, empower you in difficult time. Okay, it will help you to navigate some difficult challenges in this life. Alright, when you are awakening. Okay, and it will also make you connect to other people who are similarly practicing the same knowledge. Practicing, that is, those who are practicing the same religion like you, to connect you with those who are in the same journey with you, in the same practice the same religion with you. He will try to connect you. He will connect you with them. All right. So, and the awakening can make you feel hopeful about life and your future. Okay, awakening, becoming a spiritual awakening, can give you a full hope, a perfect hope about life and your future. Okay, am I saying this? It will show you, because when you are spiritual awakening and you know your path in this life, you will understand that the only thing you need is your focus and your determination towards your mission. Your determination towards your mission, your focus towards your mission. Okay, when you have hope about the future, about your purpose, when you realize it, you have focus and have determination to achieve it. You know it, that when you achieve it, it's going to be something beautiful in the future. You see, this spiritual awakening is going to help you to be helpful, to be hopeful and patient just about your achieving your purpose in the future. Okay, it often feels like you have a new found sense of empowerment. All right, spiritual awakening is about more than just you. Okay, do you understand? Spiritual awakening is more than just you. Okay, because spiritual awakening will make you look younger than your age. Like I told you before, spiritual awakening can make you look more younger than your age. It can make you get united with your family. It can make you have that spiritual awakening to unite your family, to put your family in a place, in a good place. It will make you look more younger than yourself. It will make you look more fresh, even when you have nothing. When people see you, they will say you are enjoying, but it's because your spirit, the energy you possess put you into that life, that you look younger than your age, you look fresh. You may be clocking 100 years and you still look younger, like someone who is 50 years. You get the point now. That is how, when you are awakening and living in that spiritual level, sense of humanity. Okay, awakening is about more than just you. Okay, your life and your actions becomes focused on a greater sense of inner peace. Okay, that ultimate make an outward differences for you. All right, so it is very important for you to become spiritual awakening into your journey. All right. This our lesson today. We're supposed to spend 1 hour 30 minutes, but we have spent 2 hours. Right. I used the 30 minutes because yeah, I come lately. I come lately. Okay, 30 minutes late. So it's completed that 1 hour 30 minutes. So we are going to be ending it here, and I will give you this quotation here. In this, I will give you John chapter 3, verse 3 to 21, and Romans chapter 13, verse 11 to 13. Go home and read it. Okay, John chapter 3 and verse 3 to 21. I repeat, John chapter 3, verse 3 to 21, and Romans chapter 13, verse 11 to 13. It will also tell you about this spiritual awakening. All right. So, my brethren, my brothers and sisters, we are going to be keeping it here for today. All right. Maybe if you uh, didn't come from the beginning of the our lesson for today, you can rewatch the video from the beginning to the end. All right. And if you have any question, maybe come across about what we have just discussed, you can simply ask the question by dropping your question on the comment section, and I will reply you with the question you ask. All right. So thank you so much for coming, and have a very wonderful um, weekend with your family and friends. I'll see you again on Monday. Don't forget this high priest error. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember to turn on the notification button if you have not subscribed. Thank you, and bye from now.